Well, I'm Skip Jeffries back in the kitchen again for some more punishment. On tonight's agenda, we're going to make some steak dinner here. Gonna start off with a baked potato, get that kind of prepped and ready to go. I've got my steak sitting out on the countertop. I've read that normally 30 to 45 minutes prior to putting on the grill, you want to have that thing on the countertop, just get to room temperature. Does something with the meat. And then for an added kicker, I'm gonna kind of do some, I found a recipe for cowboy butter. I've always wanted to try it, so we're going to give it a go ahead. So we're going to start off, I'm going to wash my hands and we'll get going on that potato. But yeah, normally baked potatoes, I don't know how everybody else does them, but I usually do mine a quick and simple, easy way. Just quickly, I do a quick rinse in the sink. Just kind of clean them off. Dry them off, and then I go ahead and grab a fork and poke some holes into it. I mean, there isn't a designated number of holes that you need to put in, just preferably you get one on each side, and to me, I believe they do that to keep your potato from exploding in the microwave. But my next step, I'll just wrap it in a paper towel here, and I'll put it in the microwave. And it's nice having one of these newer microwaves that got all the pre-settings. So I mean, just hit potato, hit start, and it's cooking. We'll go ahead and check on that in a minute. While the potato's cooking, we're gonna go ahead and start on this cowboy butter. I got this recipe, I guess, off of the Delish Test Kitchen. It's the only one I could find at the time that had it. But it starts off with a cup of butter. So looking at the package, I guess a cup of butter is 2 sticks. Seems like a lot of butter, so I guess we'll have a lot of cowboy butter. But I'm going to put that in a saucepan. And then I'll set that on the stove in itself and go ahead and let that thing cook down. Or start to at least melt down so we can combine all the stuff that needs to go into this cowboy butter. And we'll put it on probably like a low heat, normally between 2 and 3. It'll probably go up to 3. Seems to be my desired setting. While that's, I guess, melting, we'll go ahead, I guess it calls for, in a small bowl, combine butter, lemon juice, garlic, shallots, mustard, horseradish, cayenne, paprika, and a whisk basically to combine everything. So I've got myself, I pre-cut a half a lemon. So I got butter. We'll go ahead and get our garlic. And it's 2 cloves of garlic, and I've always been taught that was always 2 teaspoons. We'll go ahead and combine that into our butter. We'll also add our half a lemon. We'll just kind of squeeze it by hand, get most of the juice. Now I've seen places on the site that use the zest. I don't currently have a zester. I thought I had a zester I took out. Oh yeah, I do. I'll maybe add a little bit of the zest to it. I actually don't know how much zest is getting in there, but we'll figure that out in a little bit, or how much to add. We'll just go with whatever makes you feel good. We've got 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. I do not have Dijon mustard, but I do have, I guess, what we call like a spicy brown mustard. I just want to make sure I got that right, because that seems like a lot of, yeah, 2 tablespoons. So go ahead and add that in there. Go ahead and bring that heat down a little bit. So I've got this Engelhofer creamy style horseradish, and it calls out for, I believe it's 1 tablespoon of that. Cayenne, it's just calling out for a pinch of cayenne. So we'll just give it a dash. I like it a little spicy anyways. Paprika, I believe it was a 1/4 tablespoon, a 1/4 teaspoon. Sounds like our potatoes done. We'll let that rest while we're mixing this up. And then on to the shallot. I actually had to look up what a shallot was. I've never cooked with a shallot, so we'll give it a go. Try to mince it up. Give it my best go here. I'm not a cook. Just play one on YouTube, I guess. I guess you kind of dice it up like an onion, maybe. They're calling out for mince, so we probably want it somewhat diced up pretty good. And I was looking for substitutes because I never remember seeing shallots at Walmart. So it's kind of a weird item, but you had to look down low on the bottom shelf. They actually had them there, so it was kind of a learning lesson there. I'll try to get all these crusty outer leaves off. Like I said, I'm probably butchering this thing, so you can yell at me. I mean, it's a pretty good sized shallot. Probably want a layer too deep with it. Go ahead and peel off this other one. And I need my cutting board, so I'm going to have to quickly empty this thing. Yeah, I thought I had everything ready to go, and then I forgot as soon as I hit record. It's like, oh crap, forgot to attempt to I guess, mince this up. Be nice if I had a better knife, I guess. So hopefully that'll give us our fine consistency. I guess we can always chop it up further on the tray itself. I guess you want it kind of minced so you don't have big chunks of the shallot, I guess, in the butter itself, unless you like your cowboy butter chunky. But yeah, I've seen it on YouTube a couple times. A couple people remade videos of watching it, so I mean, I don't know, I figured I'd give it a try. I mean, I always use steak sauce when I do steaks, and I wanted to try something different. We'll get this other shallot kind of diced up and going. And if my dog's barking, I'm sorry, I'm going to eventually learn how to edit it out. But like I said, I've got 2 dachshund mixes, so those guys are always barking. I mean, I think that's what they do. That's their middle name. Pretty good dogs, but they get a little protective over the house. But we've had one for almost 10 years now. And the other, just under a year. Our son had him in an apartment, so he needed a place. He's moving to a new apartment, and apartment life isn't really good for a dog. I mean, dogs, especially dogs like that one, he needs to run around. I mean, he loves it outside. He'll spend all day outside if you let him. It doesn't matter if it's cold outside, hot outside, that dog is always outside. Yeah, we'll go ahead and see if we can mince this up, or at least give it our best try. Yeah, probably got some culinary chefs freaking out if they're watching. They probably don't watch. As long as you don't cut your finger, I guess you're alright. So we're gonna have to whisk that up. Let me see if I've got a whisk here. Oh, it looks like it's thickening up. So for parsley, it's calling out for 2 tablespoons. Wow. Was not expecting that. Some thyme. I got the Members Mark one. I'm sure it'd be better if you have fresh, but mine hasn't grown. And they're calling 2 teaspoons of that. And we'll go ahead and give that a quick stir. It smells pretty good. Chives. What are they calling out for chives here? 1 tablespoon. Wow. I don't have fresh. Like I said, we just started our garden, so the only thing you got around here is freeze dried, so we'll go ahead and add that in there. And lastly, it calls out just for some freshly ground pepper. Doesn't give you an amount, I mean whatever makes you feel good. And then some salt, but we've used salted butter, so I'm going to just add a little bit and then we can see how it tastes afterwards. Yeah, we're just going to quickly whisk it. I think it's about ready. I'm going to probably take it off the heat and just kind of let it solidify a little bit, but they say whisk everything together, so we'll do our due diligence. And I also seen somewhere where they added a little bit of chili flakes. So I've got this, I guess this spicy chili crisp. We're gonna give that a try. A teaspoon of that, just to add some sweet heat to it. We're in the South, so. And that should kind of give it a golden color too. Kind of like what you see on TV, or even some of the YouTube stuff I've seen. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off and let this melt. Take care of my potatoes here, get those started on the grill. As you can see, we've got our steak sitting out, getting to room temperature. I just seasoned it with a season I kind of created off the line. It's based off, I believe it's the Outback Steakhouse recipe, and that's been pretty good. I cut slits into the meat itself just to add more pores for the seasoning and stuff to get into, and then I've got like a liquid smoke that I'll lightly brush over both halves, and then I'll use my seasoning mix and put it on there. Normally I'll do it in the morning, so the seasoning's got a couple hours to sit into it and collect into the meat itself. With the baked potato, it's relatively pretty simple. Take it out of the microwave. You want to make sure it's somewhat soft and malleable, and this one is pretty good. I just use a simple it's like a parquet butter spray, and I'll just kind of do half at a time. And now I've got, I love margarita salt for this. This one I've had for a while, but something about this salt, you just kind of sprinkle it over the top of your potato, and then you kind of rinse and repeat on the other half. Pretty quick, pretty easy. I mean, doesn't take a whole lot of time, and it's actually a pretty decent potato. I mean, my wife loves them. I love them. The kids even liked them when they were still in the house, but pretty easy. And then grab yourself a piece of aluminum foil and just kind of wrap that bad boy up, and this thing's ready to go on the grill. Usually I like to put them on the grill for about 10 minutes. Quickly clean off this grill. It ain't too bad. Normally I try to clean it after I've grilled. As you can see, my grill needs some maintenance. I've got a knob I've got a 3D print out, and I just want to adjust my temperature. I usually like to set them about halfway, and I normally have my potato going off to one side. We'll just get a quick temp on the grill here real quick. But normally for steaks, it depends on how tender you want them. Normally the way I love them is anywhere between medium rare and medium, preferably more on the medium rare side. But I found that the best way just is to time that sucker, so I use the timer on my phone. I'll go ahead and set that and see where it takes us. I usually like to do 3 minutes aside, and then I'll flip them, and that's just to get a char going on the steak itself. Got a nice sizzle going on there, and then I normally close the lid just to keep the heat going. We got a temp, it's rising up to about 300 degrees, so this grill here is actually a Weber Spirit. It was one of their first what do they call it, the propane gas ones. I guess I bought this Father's Day probably 8 years ago. Had to wait almost a year and a half for it to come in, but it was right when they were just coming out. It's special order at Lowe's, but I think they carry them now in stock. But at the time, it was a pretty big deal. And the maintenance on this thing, it's pretty sturdy. I've replaced the inside part of it. I guess it'd be the burners and the plates at least once. It's due for another one. The igniter's gone out, so I'll have to replace that too. And 3D print me some knobs. They just not designed that well. You got that little inner slot and it just kind of wears out in time. It's not a fancy grill. We got a small back porch out here, but it's kind of nice. I mean, you're not grilling out here in the middle of summer around noon. This time of the year it isn't bad because, I mean, it's probably right around 80 degrees, and then you got that slight breeze if you can't tell by the wind chimes going behind me, but it's actually not too bad of a day to be out grilling out. But yeah, we enjoy our backyard. It just, during the summertime, I'm not a big hot person. I grew up in the north, so we're going to go ahead and flip our steaks. And I like to have kind of like a grill mark on both sides. And we'll go ahead and let that sit for another 3 minutes. And let that char up pretty good. Kind of let that cook and see where it goes from there. Alrighty, steak is ready to come off the grill, and we'll go ahead and grab that potato, but we'll take a look at see how it looks. Love the way that steak looks. I normally just rest it on a regular pan, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this in, turn off the grill, and we'll give you final comments. Alrighty, so our steak is rested 10 minutes. This is what the Cowboy butter looks like, so kind of let it chill a little bit, I guess. Seen people that you don't want it hot and melty, you want everything to kind of be combined. But we'll see how we did on the baked potato. Doesn't look too bad. We'll go ahead and see how the steak looks. Going for a medium rare. So we'll give her a cut in half, see how we did. Not bad. That's a little more on the medium side than rare. But it actually looks pretty good. My biggest concern is I want to know what that Cowboy butter tastes like. So I'm just going to cut me off a little strip and we'll mix this up and give her a go. And hopefully it's as brags up that, or as good as everybody brags up it to be. But we'll go ahead and give her a taste test here. Not bad. Pretty good. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for joining me for dinner. We'll see you next time.